Howdy doody. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening, people? How we doing? How are we doing? What's going on with you? Just got back from some much needed medication. Just got back from some much needed medication. Putting some steel downrange. Much needed medication. I tell you, man, I had not been out because I didn't shoot this winter. I didn't shoot IDPA at all. I didn't go to any matches. I didn't shoot it at all. I didn't do anything this whole winter. And I hadn't shot in a while, man. I hadn't practiced. I hadn't done anything. I'm sitting there thinking to myself, man, I'm going to get out here and I'm going to be rusty. And because, like I said, I hadn't taken out my guns. I hadn't done anything with my guns or anything at all. They had just been sitting in the safe pretty much the whole winter. But, boy, I tell you, woo, I needed that. I needed to get on the range and put a hole in something. Just saying. And it worked. I feel good. I feel awesome. They got this new place in Coon Rapids. I don't know if you guys know about that. If you live anywhere near it or around in that area, but it is nice. Holy smoke, it's nice. It's like, wow, okay. And then you go in, and they got like every gun you can probably think about on the walls. So it takes you forever to leave that whole back wall to go shoot. I'm sitting there going, I'm looking at going, yeah, I've got to get this. I got to get this. I got to get this. Yeah, I want that one, and that has to go. I've got to get me a better skeet shooting firearm. I got to get this anyway. But yeah, I had a good time. I had a bunch of my friends out with me. We all met up there and shot the place up. So again, it's always good putting a hole in paper. Always good putting a hole in paper. So you gotta stay ready, right? And I think a lot of people understand what I just said. You got to stay ready. But how we doing, people? How we doing? It's a Wednesday, all day today. It's been Wednesday with everything. And you know what? I didn't do much today. I hadn't planned on. Only thing I planned on, like I said, was going up and shooting. Other than that, I had zero plans today. I just sat back and read a little bit and finished. Oh, no, I didn't. I actually finished up. I had been working on this sermon, and it just wasn't. You ever have writer's block? You ever have this time when you just, nothing. Not that. If I don't know if you ever tried to write a sermon or not, but that's one of the hardest things ever to do. And I had just got writer's block on this sermon until probably about 1:00 today, when for some it just all came to me, and I went and finished up this sermon that I've been working on for about a week. I've been working on this one sermon for about a week, and I finally got it done. So, but other than that, I didn't do too much. And I sat back and I listened to a little bit of the situation that's going on with what's his face, Nick Fuentes. I never in my. I'm sitting here going, this year is crazy, because that name. I never said to myself that I would actually say that dude's name ever, and here I am saying Nick Fuentes. Unbelievable. But Nick said the quiet part out loud. And like I said, I don't mind at all when people are talking about putting black people down, saying this about black. I don't care, because I've always said, just tell the truth. I would rather have the truth than anything. If you don't like me or you don't want to hang around me because of the color of my skin, just say that. If you're afraid of me because of the color, just say that. Versus coming up with some type of lie and saying this and saying that. Just be honest with me, man. I'm cool with it. I'm cool. I will not. You will not get me saying, well, you're racist. And the only time I ever call somebody racist is when they're beating around the bush about what they really want to say. Just say it. It's that simple. Just say it and get it over with. Just say it and get it over with. That's just my mindset. But we're going to get into that in a little bit tonight. But one of the things that I definitely want to really talk about, and I really, again, don't think that people understand what I'm trying to get them to see. And the reason I say this is because a lot of people are not on the ground. You don't get to see things from a ground level, from when it's actually boiling up, right? The only time you all get to see it is when it's boiling over, but not when it's boiling, not when things are happening, not when things are actually going on. But once they boil over and the news tell you about it, then y'all go, oh, well, we got to do something about that. Well, it's too late then. It is too late. It's like I'll go back. I'll go back to 2019 when I testified at the Capitol, and I told them it's about to go down. Y'all are not understanding it, because you have lawmakers that, number one, don't go anywhere near it, right? The Democrats will sit back knowing what goes on, but cover their faces like nothing is happening. Oh, no, I don't know what you're talking about. Nothing is going on. Knowing that hell is about to break loose. Then you got the Republicans, because they don't know crap from anything. They're so lost, it's not even funny. They don't know until it happens. But yet, they're in the same room as the Democrats, who knows what's going on. Right? It's like all of this fraud that's going on. Right? And we found out something new today. I don't know how true it is, so I'm not going to say anything until it actually gets up there. But if this phone call or somebody had overheard somebody saying something is true, it all is about to blow up. But here is the thing. The Republicans are trying to put themselves on top as if they did not know this stuff. They know. Listen to me, people. Let me make sure you understand something. And I'm going to make myself as clear as day. Now, y'all can push water for the Republicans if you want to, because that's what you do. But what I'm going to tell you right now, I can tell you this for sure. They knew. They knew. And I'm going to tell you how I know they knew. Because Roger Chamberlain, the Senator Roger Chamberlain, who the Democrats went after his seat because he was peeling back, he was slowly peeling the covers back on this stuff. They went after his seat. They unseated him and got him out. But what I'm telling you right now is I don't tell you something that I can't prove. That's y'all. I know how y'all work. But this is what I can tell you, because I was told this firsthand. They knew. The Republicans are now running around here trying to act like, oh, this is all a surprise and look at what we're uncovering. They knew the whole time. They knew. They're the ones who had to sit there in chambers and listen to these bills being passed. The Feed Your Future situation. They had to vote either for or against this money going out the door. And they're going to sit here and act like they didn't know it. They're going to sit there and act like they couldn't put somebody on this stuff going, oh, if we give you the money, well, let us make sure we got people checking in. The daycare fraud. If we're going to give these daycares the money, all this money we're writing in these bills, listen, people, it wasn't as if the Democrats were just writing checks without the Republic. They knew it, people. They all knew it. They knew exactly what was going on. They knew it. And for them to sit here and lie to you and try to act like nobody knew, oh, we just finding out ourselves, then that tells me that they're not doing their job. Correct? If the Republicans are going to sit here and act like they had no clue, millions of dollars, if they're going to, then that tells us that they're not doing their job. Somebody dropped the ball. Somebody dropped the ball. They all knew. They did. So with the Republicans walking around here, oh, we got this committee to this, and we got a committee to do that, and we got a committee to do this here. But they have no subpoena power. They have no power to call any of these people anywhere. They can call it out, and they can put it out there and hope news picks it up. Esme Murphy or someone picks it up, and then she runs with it. She writes a story on it. Yeah, sure, they can do that, but the Republicans don't have no power to do anything. They have no power to do anything. But when this stuff was going down, they should have been doing what they're doing now. They should have been talking about it. They should have been telling somebody about it. They should have been saying, look, millions of taxpayers' money is going out the door, and we don't know where it's going or what they're doing with it. But here's the bills that they're asking for: $7-8 million. That much money that I should know about it. Your everyday taxpayers should know. Come to find out, some chick from the Harvest, whatever the name of that, $700,000 a year she's getting from a food shelf. That is nuts. The very people who call themselves helping someone are the very people who are ripping people off. But they all know. All of them, every single one of them up there. Everybody that comes to your door and knock on your door and say, I want your vote. All of them. Everyone that you vote for, they all knew. And they did nothing. And now they want us to act surprised. And now they want us to pat them on the back for doing what they should have done a long time ago, for doing their jobs. Don't give me this, oh, well, the Republicans didn't have any power, blah, blah, like you always do. You're always simping for these people. Republicans, they didn't have any power. Why didn't they have power? Let me tell you why they didn't have power. Because they never put up good candidates. That's why. The state auditor. Look, you do it yourself. Go look who ran against that the auditor now. The what's that claw? What's the name of that drink that she was drinking? Claw something. Go look who ran against her. Go look at the candidate who ran against for state auditor on the Republican side. Look. probably the worst candidate they ran that year. The worst candidate. The worst. So for them to sit here and try to act like, oh, we don't know what's going on, but oh, look at what we're doing now, and we're calling out all of this here fraud that's in Minnesota, and you knew. You just was afraid to say anything because the Democrats would have came after your seat. You did not do the people's business because you was afraid that they would do you exactly what they did to Roger Chamberlain. And you know that. Roger Chamberlain said, I don't care. I'm gonna get this, go with it. And once they got Roger Chamberlain, watch this here. Once they got Roger Chamberlain out of his seat, no other Republican picked up where Roger Chamberlain left off, did they? Did they? Look it up yourself, people. No other Republican picked up that until when? People on the ground start. Look, no, I'm going to tell it. I'm going to tell it. I've got friends who basically we set up a meeting with the Republican Party to show them some of the fraud that was going down. That happened right there at the state capitol. Like I told y'all, I don't tell you everything that I do, but I work behind the scenes like you wouldn't believe. We showed them. Showed them. That's a true story, man. That's a true story. And this is, so I say all of this here to say this here to you all. And I'm going to make myself as clear as day. If you're not watching and getting involved, and you can sit there and you can say what you always say. I know what you're going to say. I already know. But if you're not involved in the situation that's happening in the mayor's race in Minneapolis, you're going to have yourself to blame. I know you sit there and say they crazy, they ain't got no sense. They had people. So at the they had a caucus last night, right? And at one of the caucus, they literally had people sign in with their gender. No, they actually did. They actually did. But what I'm saying to you is this here, okay? And I'm saying this from the ground. Somebody who I see it every day almost. I hear about it every single day. And it's not getting any better. I don't care if they lie to you and tell you. And the lies that they tell you is for you. It is. The lies that they tell you is for the people outside of Minneapolis, outside of St. Paul, the bad area. They lie to you. They tell the lies so you can believe that. So you can think that everything is okay, and it's not. It is when they tell you, oh, well, crime is down. When the police don't show up, you can't count that. When it takes 2-3 hours for the police to show up on a report, and then they get there and nothing's going on, you can't count that. What I'm telling you right now, when they tell you crime is down, it's a lie. They are literally lying to you. And they're lying to the people who live outside of 394, 494, 694, 94, 55. And they're doing it so you can come down there. So you can come down to that area. You can go shop in that area. They're not doing it for the people inside, because the people inside know it ain't. No. Somebody just got robbed down the street a couple of weeks ago. Somebody just got shot at down over here a couple of weeks ago. You can't stop into any of the gas stations and get gas like you can out in the outside of the metro, because somebody either going to come and talk to you, try to sell you something, or and intimidate you. Those are still crimes, but they don't count that stuff. So what I'm trying to get people to finally start going, okay, we get it. Why do you wait until it's on your doorstep for you to finally go, we have to do something different? The thing that gets me also is I've got a friend in Plymouth. I'm not going to tell you who he works for, but I do have a friend in Plymouth. And he tells me how the crime level, especially the drug activity in Plymouth, has risen. And just like he says, a large part of those drugs are coming straight out of Minneapolis. So what I'm saying to you, it is very important for you to understand, whomever gets into office, other than, even though I know I talk about Fry a lot, I do. I know I do. But I'm going to say this here. Whomever gets into office other than Mayor Fry, mark this day that I say this. What's this? April 8th, right? 8th or 9th? The floodgates will open. I'm not saying that to scare you. I'm giving you a firsthand understanding. If certain people get into office in that mayor's seat, and they have the mindset of, we want the police, but we're going to be hands off. We're gonna hold the police to the job that they do. And nobody wants to come and work in Minneapolis anyway, first off. But if you get certain people in office and that police force gets to the point to where they're just not going on, they're not going anywhere. And I know people sit there and go, well, we got our own police. No, see, that's the problem. Here's another problem I can show you. The police is not ready for this. I don't care what you say about your police out there. You're not ready for this here. These are seasoned criminals. These are not just your everyday criminal. Somebody pop up and go, oh, I want to go do something. No. But I'm telling you right now, I know what the ground feels like. I know what people are talking about. I know what's going on. I see it all the time. If Mayor Fry loses, and there's a couple people who's running for mayor, if they get that seat, you better be ready. I'm warning you right now. So you sit there and go, why is it important that I care about what goes on in Minneapolis? Because what's in there now could be on your doorstep tomorrow. I'm only being honest with you. Period, point blank. I mean, because they can't stop it now. At least Fry is smart enough to deal with the situation versus just throwing his hands up and going, there's nothing I can do. I'm going to let it roll. So that's why you should care. That's why you should look into the people who are running and start caring if you got to worry about what's at your doorstep or what's going to be around you. I would. But all this stuff that's going on right now, they know. The powers to be knows this. They know it. They're just not going to tell you. And you're not going to hear it from the news. You're not going to get it from the news until after the fact. Because if it ever come to a day that Minneapolis just don't have enough police officers to do anything, which they don't now, the floodgates will open. Be ready. Like I said, I said again, my friend in Plymouth who said point blank, dude, we're seeing levels out here like never before. It's Plymouth, Minnesota, one of the richest area in, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about if you live here. It's only going to spread. So I would care about what goes on in Minneapolis. I would care about who sits in that mayor's seat in Minneapolis. I would. I would. Hey, mayor, how much money you need right now to get back in that seat so I can live my comfortable life. I can live out in a high tax bracket so I don't have to hang out with certain people. Wink, wink. Come on. Anyway, I'm going to play something for you. And I am happy that someone else said this. No, I am, because I think a lot of black people have been saying this for a long time, but we always get shot down. But we knew, at least I knew. There was no doubt. There's no doubt. But this is as I said before. I am. Oh, it went away. Shoot, I had it all geared up and the whole nine to play for you, because I wanted him to say it in his. Guess we won't get it tonight. Sorry. I should have played it before, huh? Nope, I guess not. Oh, well, I'm sad. But I'll kind of say it for him what Nick said. So if you haven't been following it, right now Nick Fuentes and Jason Whitlock is having a fight, right? And Nick Fuentes talks about Jason Whitlock. And in talking about Jason Whitlock, one of the things that Nick Fuentes says, he called Jason a token. Y'all know what that means, right? I mean, some black person that the white people take and lift up, right? And so Jason's like, Yeah, you're a token because you are the one that they chose and picked. So therefore, when they don't want to be racist or be called racist, he said they can roll you out. Correct? And y'all know what I'm talking about. I mean, we can sit here and we can play this game if you want to, but you know exactly what I'm talking about. Right? But Nick said the quiet part out loud, and he told the truth. And this is what I'm talking about. I love it when white people tell the truth. You know, I've been posting something all day. I post something all day here about a lot of white people are basically saying we don't want to be around black people because black people are this and that and all this here type of stuff, right? All right, cool. Don't have a problem with that. But what Nick did, Nick also said that Jason was it's like Candace Owens, right? I mean, and I've been talking about Candace for a long time, and now Candace has kind of y'all have brought Candace down to earth. And I saw this tweet the other day going, wow, I don't know what happened to Candace, right? But as long as Candace Owens was dogging black people, y'all loved Candace Owens. Candace was your little hero. She was. Come on. I mean, let's be honest. Like I said, this is a safe space. We can talk about this stuff here, and it's okay. I will not judge you, and you don't have to feel guilty. But as long as Candace was stomping on black people, y'all loved that woman to death. She was everything that y'all needed her to be. She was everything y'all needed her to be. And I can tell you this because I got a picture of it. I'll post it for you. I was in a room with her, and I watched her talk what she was talking, and I looked around the room that was filled. It was me and probably 8 other black people. 4 of those black people was the waiters. It was a dinner that I went to. After the dinner, she came down and everybody got in line. And I looked at this line, and this line went out this room was huge. It went out the door all the way down the hall because everybody wanted to meet her. All the way down the hall, all the way to the back side of this hall. I was like, I ain't no way in the world I'm standing in that line. So I played my race card. Finally pulled it out. I was like, I'm not standing in line. So I cut in front of people. I got the picture of me handing Candace Owens my card. And I said, this is exactly what I said to her. I said, Candace, if you can please come back here to Minnesota. I said, I'll pay for your ticket because I would like for you to walk down the streets and meet and talk to the people that you was up on that stage making these white folks glee over. That's what I said to her. And I handed her my card. Got the picture. But Candace Owens was she was y'all's rose in a basket. And she did exactly what you wanted her to do. She dogged black people. And that made you so happy that y'all made that woman rich. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. But Nick said to Jason Whitlock, you're that one now. The things that Jason Whitlock says about black people is pathetic. It's pathetic. Again, all of it, your little C.J. Pearson, y'all know who I'm talking about, that little kid. Y'all love C.J. Pearson. The twins, what's those twins boys that y'all so slobbering over? Everybody that I named, dogs out and drags the black community. And y'all have picked them up and made them heroes. Everybody in that name. Oh, what's that? Officer Tatum. Officer Tatum. Y'all love him to death. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Why? When Ahmaud Arbery was shot and murdered, Officer Tatum went far and beyond to entertain you with saying that boy was guilty and he deserved to be shot and killed. And that man has made more money off of hating on the black community. Y'all paid this man handsomely to make you feel good, to tell you that you don't have to be guilty anymore. Those are facts, people. Prove me wrong. Because if you want me to, I'll start tweeting things that Officer Tatum has said about the black community. I will tweet the things that those twins have said about the black community. I will tweet what Candace Owens has said about the black community. I will tweet what C.J. Pearson has said about the black community. I will tweet what Rod Smith has said about the black community. All of them. Shermichael. I'll tweet what Shermichael has said about the black community. And you know what they all have in common? They drag the black community. And you know what they all have in common? Y'all love them. I had a conversation with somebody today, and I sit there and go, well, how long is it going to take him before he throws Thomas Sowell in my face? Sowell in my face. I love Thomas Sowell. Black people don't care about Thomas. I read half of a book this dude put out. And after that, I have zero respect for this man. But y'all love him. Y'all will throw him out there like that's your savior, your lifeboat. When you're talking to black people, we don't care, but we don't give a flying jack about that jack. But Nick today said something that's definitely true. He said, Jason, you're that token. You're that black guy that white conservatives, white Republicans bring into the fold so they don't feel racist, so they don't feel guilty. He said, Jason, look it up. Go to Nick's page. What I'm telling y'all, he said it. But what I'm saying is he told the truth. And y'all know it's the truth. And everybody tried to downplay Nick today. Oh, Nick, we don't put up with Nick and Nick this, but yet he's got almost 1 million followers. And some people who follow me follow Nick. You know how I know? Because I go looking. I go looking. And I went looking. Some of the people that follows me follows Nick Fuente. Yes, they do. Yes, you do. And you know you do. I ain't calling you out. Follow whoever you want. I don't bug people. Don't matter to me. Only thing I say is just be honest. That's it. Just be honest. Nick Fuentes, even though I would never retweet anything that he says, and it, like I said, I've got to tear my bingo card up because for the life of me, like I said, I did not have on my bingo card that I would be saying this dude's name. And the only reason I'm saying his name is because he backed up exactly what I've been saying for a long time. He finally told the truth. And I've been saying this here for years. And like I told you before, I could have had a show. I was approached to have this could have been a lot bigger than what it is. I mean, I got my little thing going and I'm happy. It's all grassroots, right? I don't have a big production. I don't have commercials and nobody's sponsoring me. I pay for this thing my own and nobody's giving me money or anything of that sort. But I could have. I could have been the Jason Whitlock of Minnesota. I could have been the Candace Owens of Minnesota. I used to have somebody. If you go back and look at some of my old stuff, I had a sign back here. I took it down. But what Candace Owens does, Jason Whitlock does, what Officer Tatum does, what C.J. Pearson does, I had every opportunity to do that. All you have to do, Rev, is tell us about the black community. And I would have been paid. And I wouldn't have to, when I renew this here, I wouldn't have to worry about if I have, it's like $300 some odd to renew this thing. I wouldn't have to worry about it. Everybody else get on YouTube and they get monetized or whatever. I pay for this right out of my pocket because I wasn't willing to do that. I could have, because I guarantee you I put more time in the black community than any of the people that I told, but yet they still be able to talk. Candace Owens ain't never been to like I told you, I invited her to the black community. She had never been invited, but yet she's the voice of the black community? No. She's a voice to make you feel good about the black community. Because she ain't never, ever. She could have easily called me up on the phone. Hey, you gave me your card. I need to know, what can I do to help you in the black community? I can't come there, but whatever my voice, I can use my voice for, I'll help you out. Now how big that would have been? But no, she used her voice to massage y'all. So y'all can feel good about yourself. That's a fact. So I thank Nick for saying what he said, because it opens the door now that I can actually talk about it, and I can sit there. No, Nick told the truth. Nick told on these here so-called black Republicans. It's just like the black Republicans that went up there to the White House. They had, they taking pictures and they smiling and they look at us, and all this here stuff. We got nothing from that. We had a black guy right here in Minnesota went to the White House. He did. Right here in Minnesota, went to the White House. What did he come back with for the black community? What message did he give? So what good was it for him to go? So he can pat himself on the back and say, look at me. I'm that token that went to the White House. I didn't do anything for nobody, but I went. But anyway, it's worth a listen to. It is. I mean, I don't know how many hours listen to Nick at all, but it's a little short clip. I had it on my phone. I'm sorry. If I find it again, I definitely will play it for you. But at the end of the day, like I said before, Nick finally said the quiet part out loud. Nick finally said the quiet part out loud. It's like Byron Donald. When I talked to Justin, a kid of mine that lives down there in Florida, a friend of mine that lives down there in Florida, I said, what has Byron Donald done for the black community? Byron Donald don't even serve a black community, and he don't do anything for the black community. But yet, you hear him running around talking about the black community. Or talk when they need that black guy to go out. Same thing with Tim Scott. I can tell you that for a fact, because the wife and I, we go down to South Carolina every year for a week. and we go down to Charleston, South Carolina for a week. And we go down to the Gullah Geechees. We talk to them. I always go to the black church down there. I ask them the same question. What has Tim Scott done for the black community? Tim don't do anything for the black community. But yet, when they need that token, guess what they do? You see Tim Scott. You see Wesley, what's his face. You see them all. But not one of them has a black district down there that they are part of. And that's the part that a lot of you people don't understand. When they get on there and say, like Byron Donald, some white woman was in Byron Donald's face. It's on a video somewhere. I saw it. And she was calling him names and saying this and saying that. And then Byron Donald gets upset when black people call him names. Not calling him names because, because he's black. They're saying you have no right to say things about the black community. Not when you don't put time into it. Not when you don't do it. That's what people are saying. I don't care if Candace Owens was down in North Minneapolis, helping a poor family. I don't care if it was a white poor family. But if she was down there helping the poor, then Candace Owens can say whatever she wanted about the black community. I would not care. If Jason Whitlock was helping kids get basketball shoes so that can keep them off the streets. If Jason called up and say, "Hey Rev, I heard about your entrepreneurship that you have with the kids, and you got these people coming in teaching these kids how to run business, how to start their business. All these people that come in their own I'll send you a check, and everybody who drives in, why don't I pay for their gas money?" If Jason was doing something like that, then I wouldn't care what Jason says. But you can't dump on the community that you don't even help. You just can't do it. The same thing if I was a white guy and I sat here all day and I only thing I talked about is the drugs, the overdose. We had back to back days down in Minneapolis, right? That had 3 overdose on, was it 3 overdose on Sunday, and I think it was 3 more on Sunday, and I think it was 3 more Monday or Tuesday. I could have easily got on here and say 6 white people overdosing. We can talk about that. We can talk about pedophilia if you want to. Because every single day, all of a sudden, you see, it has. Now, what if I got on here and that's all I talked about all the time? That would piss you off. No, it would. It would. And y'all know it would. So when your heroes stomping on the black community and black people are getting upset, it's because they don't do anything. They put no time into the community. But y'all pay them very well to keep doing what they're doing, to keep talking about the things that they're talking about. It's just like now, like I said before, with some of the ugliness that's going on right now online, and these people gearing up and call themselves saying some of the things, like if we're going to have a race war. Now, we're not going to have a race war, but what we're going to do is we're going to put people like me on edge. Because you're trying to gear up to act like that people like me, like I just had a firearm in my hand a little bit ago. I didn't have a want or a need to go shoot nobody that don't look like me. Matter of fact, the range guy that was in there is funny. Was acting cooler than we were. I mean, he hung out with us. He hung out with us more than he hung out with anybody else. He was over there we was having a good time. White guy. Enjoyed him. But we need to tone down some of the stuff, and y'all know what I'm talking about. We need to tone it down before it gets way, way out of hand. This stabbing has gotten people just nuts. Just nuts. But anyway, fam. Hey, that's all I wanted to talk to you about tonight. Just to throw those few things out. And again, I just want to remind you, for those who missed it, I do have a YouTube channel too. So you can also go to my YouTube channel. Let's Rip It Up with Rev Christopher. And if you missed any part of this, and if you go there, hit that subscribe button there so I can feel like I'm actually doing something. But for those who jumped in late, my main talking point was, again, and I'm going to say it again, if you're not paying attention to what's going on in Minneapolis with that race, with the mayor's race, ma'am and sir, I suggest you get on the ball and see and know and understand that things are going to change. If I'm not telling you I'm not telling you who to go and get behind, but I'm just going to say this here. If Fry loses and you got them other three that's running against him, the gates are then open. Not just the front gate, because right now the front gate is cracked. It's enough for them to get through, for a few of them to get through. But all the gates will be open. Because some of you are having problems in your community right now. Either they're not telling you about it, or you know there's a problem in your community and you're just not saying anything. And you know there's a problem in your community, but you're just not saying anything. So I would seriously think about looking into the people who are running for mayor in Minneapolis. And if you got a couple of dollars, I would donate them. I would donate it. And I know, like I said, everybody always about, oh, there's no reason for us to worry about. No, I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now. Because when they tell you the crime is down, that's a lie. You say, well, Rev, why do you say it's a lie? It's because they're not reporting a large amount of this crime that's going on, because they don't have enough police officers to get to the crime or the crime scenes and things of that sort. So they just don't report it. They don't report it. So it doesn't really matter. And then when they do report it, it takes them an hour and a half to get to the crime scene or to get to a complaint. And by that time, either the person is gone or they just don't care. Period, point blank. But anyway, fam, I am done. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for hanging out with me. I will probably we'll see what happens on Friday. I'll probably see you on Friday, but if not, for those who like to hang out with us on Sundays with Dexter Taylor, I Stand with Dexter Taylor. We got Dexter Taylor on. For those who don't know who Dexter Taylor is in prison right now in upstate New York. That's where he usually calls us from. Dexter is a true political prisoner. If you ever want to know political prisoner, this guy is it. Went to jail because he assembled a AR-15, and we used his credit card to buy everything. So he didn't buy anything under the table. That's how they caught him. That's how they got him. It's like, hey, this dude's using a credit card, and he bought an upper that did not have a serial number on it. Well, if you can buy those, anyway. So that's why he's in jail. Seriously, he didn't kill nobody. He didn't rob anybody. He didn't cause a problem. He didn't sell any guns. He's in jail because he bought a lower that didn't have a serial number on it. And instead of them going, hey, okay, we'll give you a year in jail, we'll slap you on your wrist, and you can pay a fine, they put him in jail for 10 years. True story. So come back and hang out with us on Sunday, and Dexter tells his story. You can look into him, Dexter Taylor. All you have to do is go to your computer, type in Dexter Taylor, New York, Dexter Taylor gun or that, and all types of stuff will pop up. And look into the story yourself and see what you think. And if you look at it and you go, hey, this dude has been railroaded. He really is a political prisoner. We ask that Pam Bondi, we ask you send her just a little letter, a little note. You send something simple. Have you ever heard of Dexter Taylor? That's simple. Then hit send. And that goes off to her, and then maybe she'll read it or something. I don't know. But we'll see. Anyway, we're going to end the night like we always end the night, realizing and understanding that we serve an awesome, awesome God. I say he's awesome because he can turn your life around when you know that you have messed it up, when you've gone down the wrong road, when you've dirtied yourself up, when you are in a storm and you don't even know how to get out of it. God can come in and put an umbrella over you and make you as dry as day. He can clean you up, put you on the potter's wheel, and make you brand new. God has always said, he said, I will never leave you and I will never forsake you. And that's a promise. He lets us know that no matter where we go, no matter how we do things, that he's going to be right there beside us when we need him. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. It's not something that I think. It's something I definitely know. Like I always tell people, 16, 17 years ago, I wasn't the nicest person, and I guarantee you wouldn't have liked me. But because I turned over my heart, my mind, my spirit, and my soul over to my Lord and my Savior, and he decided to do something with me other than what I was doing with myself, I thank him every single day for giving me the opportunities that he's already given me. And that puts a smile on our face. So y'all know what we do with those smiles. We go out and we smile at somebody. So somebody smile back at you. Hey, fam, y'all have a good night. Like I said, I may see you on Friday. If not, definitely on Sunday. Come back and hang out with me. Y'all have a good night. Peace, and I'm out.